a video about Frogger. I'm going to be talking about Frogger, its origin and everything about it. But before I get started, I wanted to bring up the fact that I do have a separate YouTube channel, guys, called Sweet Possum. I'll have it linked in this description. But basically, that's going to be where all my fashion hauls and vlogs are going to be at, because I really want to try and keep things more specific on my channel, if that makes sense. I don't want to confuse people with all this different stuff. So check out that channel if you're interested in checking out my fashion hauls and vlogs. So let's get started with the video on Frogger. Frogger is an arcade action game that was first released in July 22, 1981. And it was developed by a Japanese company called Konami and published by Gremlin, Sega, and North America. So if you know this game, basically the concept of the game is that you play as Frogger, the little frog, and you have to cross the street with all the traffic cars, try not to get hit, and then you cross the river and you have to collect the baby frogs. So that's basically how the retro game was made. It was very popular back then. So basically there were several game consoles that this game was released on. In 1997, Hasbro Interactive released a remake of Windows and PlayStation featuring several levels unlike the original. So the original retro game just features that one level where you cross the street, but in the PlayStation and Windows you actually have several different levels where you go, but you still collect the baby frogs. In 1998, the game was also released on Sega Genesis, Super NES, GameCon, Game Boy, and Game Boy Color. If any of you guys have played Frogger on any of these game consoles, please let me know. Comment below and let me know. I'm very interested in because I had no idea that this game was on so many different game consoles. Apparently there was a series of games for Frogger. In 2005, InfoSpace and Konami created a mobile game called Frogger and Prices with multiplayer. So this was a mobile game where you competed against other people. I did not know they had that game. Have you guys played it? I'm gonna check it out and see if it's still there. So in 2006, Frogger, the Frogger mobile game made $10 million in the US. In 2006, it released on the Xbox Live Arcade for Xbox 360 and in Digital Eclipse on Konami. On December 12, 2019, the original versions were released on Nintendo Switch and PS4, which is probably the most recent they've done. They made a bunch of games for this. If you guys want me to do another video on more specific games, please let me know. So I want to talk about the Frogger game that I grew up with. When I was little, I got my first PlayStation, and my first game that I actually got was Frogger Returns. So this was based off the retro game, only as I said before, it had all those different levels and stuff. But I do remember playing this game quite often, especially with my sister. If you would ask me, there was a time where I was very competitive. I'd say it was Frogger. I was very competitive playing Frogger, especially on the multiplayer. The thing I remember most about Frogger is that, yes, you had to collect the frogs, but there was also a time limit, which I hated. It was there was this time limit that was only a minute long. I think it was a minute, maybe it was 30 seconds. I don't remember. But basically, you had to collect baby frogs one by one, and then the time would restart after you collect one baby frog. I remember every time I was almost out of time, you can hear the music going doom, 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 doom. I hated that. That freaked me out. But I love this game. I play this game all the time, but I never actually beat this game. Let me know if you guys play this game, and let me know if you actually beat it. There is actually a sequel that I played once called Frogger 2 Swampy's Revenge. And it's basically the same concept. You have to collect the baby frogs, but there's actually a storyline involved with a crocodile that captures the babies, and you have to capture it. I think you also play as Frogger's girlfriend. You go back and forth between levels as far as I remember. I think that's how it went. Yeah, so I don't know what Frogger's girlfriend's character was based off of. I do remember in the original Frogger of the PlayStation game that there was this pink frog that would jump across the logs, and you were supposed to catch it and bring it to the other side. But I actually thought it was supposed to be a distraction and mess you up, because I remember I was like, I always thought that was like the enemy, but apparently from what I learned, if you catch that purple frog and you bring it all the way to the other end to the baby frogs, you earn an extra 200 points. And I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? So in the multiplayer game of the PlayStation 1 game, you can play as different characters. I mostly remember just playing as Frogger and the pink frog. Maybe that was his girlfriend, I'm not really sure. It's the same concept, only it's a race, and you have to capture these race flags instead of baby frogs. But there's like no time limit, and there's unlimited lives. You can die as many times as you want, and you can just, whoever wins gets the most flags wins. There's 5 flags, just like 5 frogs. Let's talk about the baby frogs. There are 5 baby frogs of different colors. There's blue baby, red baby, purple baby, green baby, and orange baby. And then there's an occasional golden frog that gives you extra points, I guess. Pretty cool. I used to always think that those baby frogs looked like little gummy bears when they appeared on the screen after you collected them. I don't know why, they just look like gummy bears. Don't you think they look like gummy bears? Let's talk about where Frogger was brought up in other movies and stuff. In 1983, there was a cartoon with Frogger being voiced by Bob Sartula, I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know if I pronounce it right. And it was called Saturday Supercade. It ran for 2 seasons, and Frogger was in the show as well as Donkey Kong. Now, this show is known as a lost series due to the lack of release and rebroadcasting. So yeah, there's not very much evidence on this show. I could maybe try and dig deeper into this if you want me to, but if you guys know anything about this show, let me know. Frogger appears in Wreck-It Ralph, Pixels, and Ralph Breaks the Internet, which makes sense. And also in Teen Titans, there was a parody on Frogger. I think I remember that. Wait, Teen Titans. Is that Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go? I feel like I remember seeing that. I'm gonna have to check and see if it was either Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go, but I do remember there was a Teen Titans show where the characters were in the Frogger game or something. Oh, let me know if you've seen that, because I feel like I remember that. Anyways, guys, that was my video on Frogger. If you guys have any requests on me doing this part 2 of this Frogger video, let me know. And also, I'm taking requests. If you guys have any requests on any videos you want me to do, especially on pop culture, I'm very intrigued by doing so. Anyways, we'll see you next time. Bye! I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please feel free to subscribe. And if you do, I'll take you with me on my amazing adventures. Bye bye for now.